Hi, Monique Taylor at Canyon Mist Ranch. I'm an equine massage therapist, classical rider. Been in horses for about 40 or 50 years. You can see my whole history if you look on my website, canyonmistranch.com. I also have a Facebook page, which you can see horses I'm actively working on. Today I'm kind of going through here and working on, kind of showing some things on how I work horses for rehab. I have pretty much done rehab my whole life. As my husband's saying, for me, is the deader the better. If the vet couldn't do anything with them, I took them. So I ended up specializing in that, hence my road to massage therapy, as well as using dressage, classical dressage, true classical dressage, as a physical therapy tool rather than competition. So that's just the angle I come. There's many angles. No one's right, no one's wrong. So what I want to kind of point out is that I like to work horses on uneven terrain as well, because it's really good for their muscles and I can see them shift. And my horses are out on 40 acres, steep terrain, flat terrain, so they get a lot of movement. This guy is Prometheus. Prometheus has had some issues. He was kind of dragging his right toe when I bought him. Does not want to move off and would really brace his head. I mean, brace and pull. So, and refuse to go. So rather than thinking this was a naughty horse, I'm thinking there's something in the back and in his gluteals and things. So we've been working on that. I've had him since December. It's now almost September. I've been working him mainly on the ground, and when I ride now, I ride the cool down, which is a great way to warm up that back, make sure we don't have a cold-backed horse. But also, Bob, if you'll switch to the side here, you can see his back is just starting to develop. Before it was down some. He didn't have the muscles to hold a saddle and then hold me. It's easy at that. Some horses do not have the muscles. Build the muscles, then put it on. You don't go take someone who doesn't know how to bodybuild and give them 400 pounds to lift. Build the muscle, then put the saddle. Work it backwards. There's nothing wrong with doing a warm-up and making it a more difficult workout like I'm going to do here in 3 parts. And you'll see it more in depth with Arthur if you go back. So I don't want to waste everybody's time and go through because we're all very busy. But you'll see I can ride the cool down. I can go for a trail and do something like that. His back is warmed up. He's had the saddle on, which I won't go through today. I will do that in the fall when it's cooler because it's going to be 107 or so today. So having said that, let's go ahead and skip over to where he's at. I like to lunge in the Mecklenburg bridle. The first thing y'all are going to say is, this is super loose. Yes, it is. And this is super loose. Yes, it is. Because I have tried to, every time I work with horses whose bridles and halters are cranked down, and I'm going to do a video on the fit, they get so much tension here, along here, there's the back of the TMJ, the jaw line, and the mouth. This man needs to move his mouth because he braces. I'm going to leave this loose. Everybody's going to say, oh my gosh, it's going to be a problem. You're pulling on him. I'm going to use his hind end to push him forward so he doesn't pull. I don't work my horse's head. I work the hind. All energy comes from here and goes up. As long as I can get it to go up and through, this will take care of itself. I think pictures have done more harm than good in many cases because everyone tries to set the head. There's no energy here. You're gripping for life with your legs there. You're squeezing, you're kicking. That energy just stopped right there. So you're never going to get it to the head. It has to be able to move through with a nice open leg, and we'll talk more about that in the fall. The neck will set itself to the head. So having said that, we're working on 3 different kinds of terrain. Not everybody has a beautiful indoor arena, beautiful outdoor arena, mirrors, someone to film them, a groom. I'm a backyard horse person, always have been. We've moved in the military, dragged my horses everywhere. Right now it's hot. I don't want to go up to the arena. So, and I really think they need the different terrain, and the horse really likes this workout, although it's tough for him. So I'm going to work him on 3 different types of terrain. This is a more sloped. My husband can probably take a step to his left and kind of show you down the pasture. So this is kind of sloped. I'm going to do a little warm up here. Then we're going to go down towards the gully and then down one side of the gully and up the other. So that's our goal today. This back leg, just as a little bit more introduction, is not wrapped because of an injury. I'll be talking about the inside hind leg. You'll see it on Arthur as well. Just a visual so you can see the hind end. Because I concentrate pretty much solely on the hind end when I'm working a horse. I want you to just kind of go over something really quick. The quality of your lunge line, which I'll talk a little bit about later, it was really important. Those stiff nylon things with the rubber on the end are horrible. You cannot lunge in those things. So this is a lightweight, but I'm just lying it across my hand like this. So it can feed out or I can pull it in. This horse is a master at, when I go to put the line down, he'll move his head a quarter of an inch and you'll see me reaching and reaching and keeps moving it. So, last thing on this horse, he is very one-sided. He is very guarded of his right side. He may not want to work the right side first, and I thought at first he was being difficult. I really think it's because he was injured in some way or something was sore, but he will work there if I switch sides. That's why. This is his workout as much as mine, so we're going to work together, and we both have an input. Having said that, let me get him started. Okay, one out, Promo. And he's very slow to start out. Here he goes, try it. Doesn't want to go on that side. That's fine. Oh, there he goes. Oh, if I have to. This is 100% better. And you know what? He can have an opinion. He's welcome to an opinion. And you'll see that he's going to kind of be slow. And I'm going to do a shorter version of the other one, but this is his workout. He's stretching. Fine. He's stretching his neck. He's slow. He's warming that up. He's stretching through. If he's stretching through like that, I love that. My whip I'd have out front. I normally have it behind me, so it just lashes, it kind of moves behind me. But you'll see with this horse almost every stride, and try and see the timing. When the back leg is coming off, back inside, my whip moves. That encourages him to take a step deeper. He was really afraid of the whip. If your horse runs, when you pick up the lunge whip, then you need to start over, because it's a tool, not a weapon. I don't run my horses endlessly. When they're on the lunge, they work. It's a workout. So now you see, he went slow. Most people wouldn't have been happy with that. He picked it up. Now we're getting some much quicker areas or some much more deeper work. Not real deep, but deeper. Interspersed with more stepping out, like right there. There we go. That's a nice stride. If you watch that the black wrap, he's tracking up into the footprint of the front leg, the footprint of the front, right front, and same on the outside. And I really want to reiterate in here a couple of times, when I massage a horse and the horse has been really locked up, or I say I want you to really walk your horse out, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about their nose to the ground. Now, I am going to slowly ask him, there we go, for a little bit more work. I want his head and neck, the energy moving forward. You can see it's kind of blocked mid-back. You're fine. However, I don't want his head to the ground and I don't want to chase him. So it's slow. Everything takes 5-6 steps, maybe 3 circles. So I'm just going to concentrate on that right now. Up, up. First he's going to put his head up. Up. Because my timing's off. There we go. Now, okay, he's got some work, but he can't do it at the walk. There we go. And when he gets his head down at the walk, that's okay. He's saying, wait a minute, I'm just too tight. When he gets his head down at the walk, it might be for 2 strides and he slows down. If you have tight muscles, you don't have someone tie your neck to your ankles. You're too tight. There we go. There we go. Yes, that's really low, but see how his head is shaking back and forth? This guy is super tight in the pole, super tight in the head. That's been a real issue that he's come with. So he's kind of, those muscles are figuring himself out. It happens to be the way he works out. Good. Now, that's a nice walk. Now, if you watch that hind end, it's going forward. You can see his hips are going side to side, but they're also going up and down. You can see his back is rounded. You have not seen his head come up above the vertical where the lower neck is dominant. We haven't got all the energy pulling into the neck yet. Not even there. That's just a stretch. That's okay. Watch the head. Okay. Now let's see if we can get a little bit of a trot. Now, let me go back and say, your trot is only as good as your walk, so I have to get a decent walk first. And trot. There we go. His head is lower than I'd like. There's where I'd like it. Lower than I like, but he's stretching. And he's not nearly coming up. Watch the tracking up on the inside hind. What? He does, but when he puts his head down, he can't make it. Okay, that tells me he's tight. Good boy! Okay, we're going to keep this short today because it's getting hot and you can see the full thing on the other. So let me just reiterate real quickly. You saw his head go down here. When he did, he was working through here, but he wasn't working through here. If they go way down and they can sometimes do this, and that's where some of your kissing spine comes from. When he picked up the trot, you saw the difference of the energy going through. The walk is the hardest gait on a horse. That's why if you look at most of these dressage horses, their walk is really bad, their pee-off is really bad, and their passage is really bad because they have not mastered that lifting. The walk is the most important step. I walk a lot of hills, I do a lot of this work. Most say do walk last. I don't see any point in doing a trot if your walk is really bad. As I said, because of the work forward. That's my point of view. You also noticed this didn't bother him at all. He didn't pull, he didn't try and leave. I love this because I have the nose link on the front. He's comfortable. I didn't have to crank his head, and that head movement was stretching these muscles. So let's quickly try the other side, and we'll do that in the next video.